In this video, I'm interviewing Ben Friesen to discuss the 2024 Cherry Blossom Backgammon Championship. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoy this video. Please like and subscribe, and you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. Please let me know what you think in the comments below and what you'd like to see in future videos so I can work on that. My book, Backgammon Strategies, is available. There's a link in the description to where you can get it. And if you're interested in lessons, please contact me via email. My email address is in the description. Again, in this video, it's my pleasure to have my good friend Ben Friesen. Thank you for joining me and welcome.
Hey, thank you for having me. Thank you.
My pleasure. How are you doing tonight?
Hey, I'm wonderful. Wonderful. Just had a fun month and now looking forward to the next 6 weeks, getting ready for Cherry Blossom and running what's going to be hopefully another amazing event.
Great, great. I'm excited to talk about it. Where are you joining us from tonight?
Currently in Cincinnati, Ohio, via Michigan, via Vegas, via Australia. I've been all over in the last month.
Is that where you grew up in Ohio?
No, I grew up in Michigan.
Oh.
I I'm gonna alienate some people here, but it is weird living in Ohio. I went to U of M, and I now live in the heart of the college that I just absolutely despised.
Yeah, yeah. There's a big, for those of the people that don't know, it's a big rivalry between Michigan and Ohio State, right?
Yeah, and technically Ohio State's in Columbus, but I mean, you land in an airport in Ohio, and the pilot yells out OH, and then a bunch of people on the plane always say IO, Ohio, and I'm just like, oh, oh.
That's funny. So when did you start playing backgammon yourself, Ben?
So I learned backgammon. Wow, I guess I was 10 or 12 years old. I wasn't much older than that. My father taught me, we would play games of all sorts, but backgammon was one that I really liked when I was younger. I had a little bit of a degenerate gambler in me, and I liked the logic and the strategy. And so he actually gave me the book Backgammon for Blood, which I think most people know today as not a super technical book, but was kind of revolutionary in its time and entertaining to say the least now. And over time, I got better. I got away from backgammon for a while. I got into poker. And then when I was like 16, 17, I went kind of all in on poker and then backgammon. And so I don't remember my first year at the Flint Club. I think I was probably 17, so that would have been like 2007. And I would started playing every week. The first year, I think I took maybe the last 5 months I was playing, and I did well. But the next year, I won the club, and the next year after that, I won the club, something like that. And I just did really well. And then I went to tournaments. I won my first novice. I got second in my next one, moved up to advanced, won that, moved up to open, and never looked back.
That's that's great. That's great. And you've been involved with the USBGF for some time now, right?
Yeah, yeah. So actually, I guess putting a year on it, 2007 would have been around when I was 17, and so I've been playing backgammon for like 20 years and been very involved for the last 15, including being a board member for the last 5 or 6. And I ran my first tournament in Michigan, or no, in Ohio actually, with Joe Miller. I think in 2017 or 18. It was something like that. And actually just kind of a remembrance. The reason I ran my first tournament is that Paul Berg passed away suddenly. He was working the Ohio tournament and the Michigan tournament here in the Midwest, and was a critical member. In fact, basically Carol J. Cole's right hand for the Flint Club. And so when he passed, I think it was 2 weeks before the Ohio tournament, I said to Carol, "Well, I can run a backgammon tournament," and so she let Joe Miller know, and that's how I got involved. And then over time, I started doing some streaming, I was doing some directing, and then became a board member. I think it was 5 years ago. It might be 6. I don't remember if I was up for reelection this year, if it's coming up next year or what. So
Yeah, very good. I know you've been doing a really good job. I remember you helped out with the streaming when I was helping the commentating in LA. And that's fantastic. I was telling you earlier, I'm getting some equipment to try to do some streaming myself. So Hopefully, I'll be able to do it. It's not
Yeah.
if you know how to do it.
Yeah, there can be a very steep learning curve, but at the end of the day, if you have a camera, if you can learn how to use OBS, which is open broadcast software, you pretty much can stream. And the question just becomes, how technical do you want to get? How much do you want to fine tune, and how much do you want to make everything look pretty? But it's a lot of fun, and I'm very technically savvy. I worked for Hewlett Packard for 5 years, and just have always been tech savvy. So I enjoyed getting into that stuff and trying to help tournaments with that kind of thing, especially, um, which is one of the things that I actually kind of strive to do with the Cherry Blossom tournament. Is we really try to use technology to make the experience more enjoyable, to give people more information in a timely manner, and just to really try to step up the customer service. There's a lot of tournaments that are running, that have been running for a long time and doing it the same way, and we're just kind of trying to step into a new era. And some of that stuff has worked, some of that stuff hasn't. I mean, some of the stuff that we've tried to do has basically gone too far. Like, sometimes it's just easier to use paper brackets, so you don't need to do anything technical because it's an event that takes a lot of last minute registrations, or whatever. There's various reasons, but it's been really fun just trying to innovate, trying to see what's working, and then adjusting from there.
Yeah, great. So the cherry blossom, for those that are not familiar, because it's not named after a city, it's in the Washington, D.C. area. Is that correct?
Yeah, so it kind of is named after the city, but you have to know the local like seasons to know why. And it's because the cherry blossom trees bloom in this time of the year. And so the cherry blossom festival is usually right around now. I think when we first had the event, it was closer to when the cherry blossoms are blooming than it is today. But that conflicted with Mother's Day a lot in May. I don't remember the exact timings, but I mean, I don't live there actually myself. It was funny, but once Karen actually made the event, called it the Cherry Blossom Backgammon Championship, changing the event from something like the DC something, I don't, the Capital Classic possibly is what it used to be. Um, the name is stuck, and the logo, we got the logo and the branding, and so we just have stuck with it and really enjoyed. It's in, to answer your question, Herndon, Virginia, which is about a 20-minute like metro or train ride from DC, or maybe 30, but very close to the uh, capital and all the malls and the monuments and whatnot, but actually right next to the Dulles Airport.
Right.
Airport code IAD, if any of you are trying to book your flight to the tournament.
IAD. Okay.
Yeah.
How long have you been working with this tournament?
Karen asked me to help Jeb Horton, I think maybe the next year after I started working tournaments. It would have been 18, maybe 19. And then 2 years ago, Karen asked me if I wanted to just officially take it over. And so Karen is still involved from a like an advisor role, and she still helps sponsor things like the World Women's World of Backgammon event. But now it's really like I own and operate the event along with my team, and that team is the Double Take Backgammon group, and that's me, Paul Horton, and Andy Lindeberg, and then Jonathan Hardigree. All of us work together. Paul and Andy, especially on the planning. Jonathan works all of our events with us, and we're just kind of a team of four now, and have been doing this. This will be our fifth event together, and so we're really getting quite good at it, I think. Obviously, I'm tooting my own horn, but we have a lot of fun. And in fact, just to round out the group, last year we brought on Jason and Bry Dordal. They
Yes.
are the team that does Blunderblots, and we brought on Nick Blazier for the streaming commentary.
Great.
And we brought on Julius High and Tom Jane to do the beginner program. And so we've got that entire crew again, along with Ed Corey helping us with the USBGF, everything. So we've just got an awesome team, and have really, I think we've just about mastered these tournaments and how to run them. I'm sure that something will blow up in my face like it always does, but I think I'm really proud of the event that we put on.
Yeah,
So
it's outstanding. And for those who are not familiar with Karen, tell us about Karen Davis. She's really a legend in backgammon. Does a lot of work.
she really is. I mean, Karen has been a key part. In fact, probably the most important player in the U.S. Backgammon Federation, and now one of a pair for Women's World of Backgammon, along with Christine Mercer. Basically, everything Karen does in her life, she just puts her heart and soul into. And so Karen, well, if you don't know about Karen at all, Google her name. I mean, I can't tell you how many conversations I've had that have just been so inspirational, where learning about how like her life and how she got to where she did. I mean, you can summarize it with just incredibly hardworking. Um, just I get emails from her 24/7 because she's just always on top of everything, and it's I don't know, she's amazing. I don't know what else to say. I mean, she's the reason that I'm so involved in running tournaments. And Carol Joy Cole, I have to give credit for just backgammon in general. Like that's why she's the one that got me so interested in backgammon. But anyway, yeah,
Yeah, two of the female legends of backgammon.
yeah,
So
exactly.
that's fantastic. I wanted to pull up the website here so we can take a look at it and go through it.
Okay, yeah,
There we go. Are you able to see that now?
yep,
Okay, so we'll just kind of go through it so people can learn about it. As we said, 2024 Cherry Blossom Backgammon Championship. It's going to be April 17th through 21st at the Hyatt Regency at Dulles Airport, as you mentioned. And this is the address. So, yeah, tell us a little bit about this.
yeah. So the very first headline is that the main event format is a three-loss Swiss. That is new for this year. Last year we ran a triple, like a main console last chance, and because we had such an incredible interest in the top division, Division One, which we call the championship or the open division, we actually had to shorten the match lengths. And so rather than take a chance that, I'm not being sure how the schedule is going to work, we switched to a three-loss Swiss so that everybody, until you lose twice, you can win the tournament, and it's a little easier to schedule. And so I'm really excited about that. I think that there haven't been very many Swiss style events on the East Coast, and so hopefully people enjoy that format.
And Ben,
And then after,
can you tell
yeah,
us what a Swiss format is for the viewers, please?
yeah. So the Chicago event, Rory runs what's called a more Swiss, and that basically means that the you get matched up with people that have the same record, and we keep playing until only one person remains that can win the tournament. Now we're using almost identical. I think it basically is identical system through the USBGF bracketing system. So it's the same idea. You're everybody who is undefeated plays each other. Everybody with one loss plays each other. Everybody with two losses plays each other. You're eliminated from the tournament if you have three losses. You can no longer win the tournament if you have two losses. And we just keep playing until we are left with one winner and a handful of people that tie for second, third, fourth. Depending on how it comes out, we may have an independent first, second, and third. We might have a big tie. It just depends. But there'll always be a winner. That's the one thing that's kind of guaranteed.
Okay, good.
And the reason, by the way, the reason I brought up Rory is I just got to give him a shout out. He actually has been kind of the person that's used this format the most. He actually built a website that runs his more Swiss events, and so I just shout out to him. I mean, I think it's one of the better event formats if you have time to run it. And so Chicago is a great chance to experience a four-loss more Swiss if anybody's looking for an event to go to in May. Anyway,
Good. And then there's $5,000 added. Tell us about that, please.
yeah. So the USBGF National Championship, we actually run the finals at the Cherry Blossom on Friday. We started in the morning, and we do reentries for a few hours, sometimes only two, but sometimes three or four. And then at the end of the day, we qualify one, sometimes two, occasionally three people to compete against the people who've previously qualified at events from 2023. So in 2023, in a wide range of events, I actually, I'm not sure which ones they were, but they span across the nation. People qualified to be the USBGF national champion. Now, in at the Cherry Blossom, anyone who's a member gets to compete for free, and then there are going to be reentries, and then the final 8 players will compete for that $5,000 of added money.
That's great.
Yeah, so definitely, if you want to come play the Cherry Blossom events, like getting there Thursday night is a really good idea at a minimum. Because even on Thursday we do jackpot events, and on Wednesday we have the BMAB. So there's a lot of backgammon to play from Wednesday all the way till Sunday. And in fact, taking it back a few more days, the local clubs meet on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. I'm not sure if there's one of those that may not meet this year, but if you want to just play backgammon for an entire week, you can show up in DC on Sunday and play backgammon every single day all the way until the following Sunday. So it's really an incredible experience.
That's great.
Yeah, and so one of the events, just going down the list, is the Women's World of Backgammon tournament. Previously, they were called Backgammon Winning Women. I need to update this. And this is an event that's been going on at many ABT tournaments, and it's a chance for women to compete against women. We always have nice art glass trophies, and there's usually some added money and some recording and transcription involved. The full details will be in the events page for that. And then we always have a super jackpot. Last year we had, I think, 16, but it may have been 12 entrants. So this ends up being one of the biggest prize pools that we have for an event, other than the ABT main event. And we always get some great players for that. And then we also have lots of other jackpots: Masters, Open, Advanced. I believe we dropped the Intermediate. I'll have to update that as well. Our favorite event now, like new event, is these Night Owl jackpots. So last year I found these really cool glass owl trophies, and we picked 2 of them out for last year, and we run this Night Owl jackpot, which is late on Friday, and you have to be willing to stay up late to play the tournament. I think we got done last year at 1 or 1:30 in the morning, but the winner gets just these really cool glass owl trophies. So that's Friday. And then going back to Wednesday, we do have the BMAB event, which is a Players Cup event. That means that if the winner of this will get either a star or a partial star, an iron star. And that's, if you go to search for Players Cup Backgammon, you'll find more information about that.
I was speaking with Roberto Litzenberger about that, and we're gonna do a separate video talking about that in terms of the BMAB, which is now called the Players Cup. For those of the viewers who are not familiar with it, can you please explain what BMAB is and how that works?
Yeah, so the Backgammon Masters Awarding Body, or BMAB, is a group that was established, maybe it was 15 or 18 years ago. It was a little while ago now, where the group, which was actually
Bernhard
I guess
Meyer?
founded by, I think Bernhard's the current executive, but I think it was founded by Rick Jankowski, and
Rick
then like
Janowski,
Dmitry
yeah.
Obakov was involved in the founding. Now Dmitry is like my go-to for BMAB, but Bernhard, I think, is running the organization. And what the goal is to step away from winning and losing, like basically kind of remove that from the equation and ask who are the best players based purely on PR, and then give people titles based on your performance, kind of like chess titles, where, I mean, basically exactly like chess titles, where it doesn't matter whether you're winning or losing, it matters how well you played. And so the best player in the world, Mochi, or the best, I think still has the best title. He's playing under a 2, I think it is. And so he's like the super grandmaster title. Whereas somebody like me, where I play a 5.5 on a good day, I'm only a master. But it gives you something to work towards other than winning and losing, just working towards playing your best, which is great. And the Players Cup is a section, like a selection of those BMAB events in the US. And this is something that Roberto Litzenberger has started up this year, along with all the directors that are running these events. And it's just to give the people that are coming in early to these backgammon tournaments and competing in the BMAB to give them a little bit something extra to compete for. And it's a point race. There'll be some prizes. There's some fun things like whoever gets the worst roll, just other like fun little ideas depending on the event. And it's just a lot of fun. But at the end of the day, we're still competing for PR, and then trying to win, of course, too, which usually they go hand in hand. So yeah, the Players Cup, BMAB events are really going to be a race to watch out for this year. I think that it's going to get very competitive at the end of the year. So
I think that the Players Cup BMAB is actually really good for another reason that you didn't mention. I've spoken with a lot of people getting feedback from tournaments, and a lot of the tournaments, the major tournaments, as you know, it's like the whole weekend or 3 days, Friday through Sunday, or even 4 days starting on Thursday, and sometimes it starts on Wednesday. So it's difficult for people to commit a whole weekend, but these are all single day events, so they can come to the tournament and just be there for that day. And I've actually personally done that myself, gone to the tournament and played only on that day because I only had one day, and I know other people that do that. So that's great. That's great. I encourage that. So in addition to that, you have like some of the doubles and all day jackpots and things like that. Uh,
yeah, Jackpot Johnny, otherwise known as Jonathan Hardigree, signs people up for 8-player jackpots all the time, and we run those just nonstop. If you want to play backgammon, there's backgammon to play. So
how long are those matches?
depends on the price point. So for the $100 entry, we do seven. I think it's seven all the way through. For the 200, I think it's 779. 50, I believe, is 557, and 20 is 555. And they all run all weekend. But one thing that we really strive for is if we start one on, let's say we start one on Thursday, we will fill it and finish it Thursday. So if somebody can only play that day, they can play something and play it to completion. So yeah.
Okay, so let's continue here. Come ahead of time. There's a lot of sightseeing here. There's the hotel near the airport, the activities, the town restaurants, and things like that. People can kind of look at that. Is there anything specific you wanted to mention?
Well, we were in a 4-star hotel. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful, and it's a walk to a train into town. So if you have family that want to go to the National Mall, if you want to come, but then take a Friday or Saturday, well, Friday would be the best day off. There's so much fun stuff to do. I love exploring all the Smithsonian museums and the monuments. So I'll probably even come in on Saturday or Sunday before and just go downtown and hang out.
Great, great. Okay, and then here there some of the sponsors. Would you like to take a moment to recognize the sponsors?
Yeah, so BMAB, obviously USBGF and ABT, we're sanctioned through these organizations, so we follow their rules, we adhere to their policies, and we thank you know all of them for their support. You do have to be a USBGF member to play in the event. That is standard for the ABT. And then Gammon Stuff is John Perner's organization or kind of company. He sells beautiful FTH boards along with other backgammon equipment. We will run a FTH board tournament during the event where for a great price you can play or compete for a board. And then we also have Ed Corey with Gammon Guys who will be on site, and he does all the USBGF support as far as helps us with printing brackets, with making sure people are members. Ed Corey, he's up at 6 a.m. making sure the room is ready to go. I mean, he's almost like another staff member for tournaments, and he's just an amazing asset. And so, that's his sponsorship along with also allowing us to run Gammon Guy board tournaments where you can again pay a much discounted price on an 8-player tournament that where the winner gets a board. So
That's great. That's great. And those are those the Art Gammon boards?
yes, exactly. And there's a wide variety of inlays, of checkers, of backing, or like the outside of the board. So he's got always got a great variety, and a great variety of cubes and checkers and dice and everything else on site. We always have everything you might want to add to your backgammon collection on site. So
Yeah, I think both of those companies are fantastic. The FTH is Fazil from Germany, who makes these really high quality leather boards with the merino wool felt. It's just a pleasure to play on. They're lightweight, they're high quality. And then the Art Gammon ones, I believe, are made in Turkey, if I'm not mistaken. And the thing that I like about that is that the variety of different types of surfaces and all sorts of things you can design and customize. So that's a lot of fun.
absolutely. The boards are all just beautiful. And in fact, anyone who's thinking about getting an FTH board, I would encourage you to get one soon. This people think that board makers are going to be making boards forever, but that's just not the case. And I think that these are going to be collector's items shortly. Just kind of like Taki boards are. Taki, people thought that Taki would just make a million boards. Well, he's not making as many as he used to. And so every time a Taki board comes out, people have to have it. I mean, these are boards that are going to be worth owning now. And obviously, I don't dare speculate on whether or not their value will go up or down or stay the same. But I have three, so I guess I might be speculating.
Yeah, yeah. So here's a list of all the staff here. On the left, all those people that you mentioned, contact information, the corporate sponsors, which we mentioned, as well as these individual sponsors, which we should recognize: Karen Davis, Tom Jane, John Klein, Marcy Kosar, maybe, Jason Lee, and Roberto Litzenberger.
And there's one more I want to mention. Every year Marcy would partner with Bill Finneran on make on the chocolate backgammon board prizes, and the Bill Finneran actually passed in January. So he, I mean, I guess I'm just saying, rest in peace, Bill. He was a sponsor for many years. He's a great guy. He was always so much fun to have at the tournament. So unfortunately, he won't be sponsoring those prizes this year. But I am looking to line up a sponsor for the chocolate. That way, Marcy can help us out and have those just delicious backgammon boards again this year.
Great, great. I see there's a section for beginners, so we'll take a look at that. Novice and rookie events, specifically for beginners. Something run by Julius High and Tom Jane. Tell us about that, please.
Yeah, so we're doing the Backgammon for Everyone workshop this year with Julius and Tom. And so this event, basically, Julius and Tom have put together a curriculum that gets people from whatever level they're at to kind of a fundamental understanding of how to play backgammon and how to play tournament backgammon. Julius and Tom just do an amazing job working with people of all skill levels. And so they're going to be leading this program throughout the weekend. And in conjunction with that, we're going to have tournaments for the beginners or rookies or novices. We've used all these terms interchangeably now. And so if you want to play backgammon, but you're not really sure what skill level you belong in, come on down. There'll be tournaments all Saturday and Sunday. There'll be something for you to do along with the workshop, depending on what you want to do.
So here's the schedule, right? So
yeah, so this may change still, admittedly. I have been working with Julius and Tom to kind of nail down what we want to do for the event. I'm going to see them this weekend in Atlanta, so we're going to chat more. But if you're there Saturday around 10 a.m., then there'll be something to do the whole time. And we'll keep it very affordable. The tournaments are going to be right around the $20 per tournament again. And then I think the Backgammon for Everyone, there's actually a site on the a page on the USBGF site that I think will be good for people to check out. So yeah, it's good information. It does give a price. It gives the topics. So it's 120 for adults, $80 for youth under 25, and it includes the 2-day workshop. It includes premium membership. It includes a copy of the magazine. So it's really a great program.
So Backgammon
So
for Everyone workshop, I'll put a link here in the description. So there was the one in February, and there's one coming up in Atlanta, and then this is the Cherry Blossom one.
yes, exactly. And as you scroll down, you'll see the topics are
Yeah.
laid out. I mean,
Oh,
it's a
great.
great program. Yeah. So there's um well, I think that anybody who's interested will definitely be able to check this out. And there's Julius and Tom there, and you really get a great value for the money. I mean, $80 includes premium membership. I think premium membership is like as a one-time purchase. I think it's like $80 by itself. So especially
That's
youth, they're
great.
getting a great deal. Yeah.
Okay, so we saw that, and then let's see the schedule here. So, oh, so this is the local events, right? Arlington.
Exactly, exactly. So we're gonna have on Sunday and Monday, the local clubs are gonna play where they normally play. Tuesday used to be at the boardroom in DC. I think that what we're gonna do is host a warm-up tournament if desired on site there. But I haven't officially announced that yet because sometimes people just travel in and they don't want to play. So we'll see based on demand, based on who's there. But then we really get everything started on Wednesday. So what we do in Cherry Blossom is we run the BMAB and the Super Jackpot at the same time. So basically, the top players end up usually playing the Super Jackpot. Everybody else plays the BMAB, and we'll play a couple rounds. I think 4 rounds before dinner and one after for the BMAB. For the Super Jackpot, we usually play 2 rounds before dinner and then one after. And then we'll play the warm up event, the DC Metro Open, that night starting at 8 p.m. And the DC Metro Open is like a satellite event. So the people who win that tournament will win enough money to cover their main event entry in either the Open or the Advanced, depending on
Oh,
which
that's
one they
great.
play. Yeah, it's a fun little way. And if somebody like can't play, they can just get the cash. But instead of having it be a lot of money for first and then less for second, we just split it up so that everybody gets enough to cover the main event, which is kind of fun.
Good. And then
And
Thursday.
Thursday we do the jackpots, and so we are just doing the 3 levels of jackpots: Masters, Open, and Advanced. And what we do for these is we draw people in groups of 8, and then the winners, the 8 player group winners, will go on and play in the final 4 usually. I think the Masters will get to 32. It often does. The Open is going to be probably 24, but it might get there as well. And then the Advanced will probably be 32, but we'll see. And we do them in groups of 8. So if it ends up being 24, then there's a 3-player playoff, which we can do in a way that's fair for everybody, as far as like the financial breakdown. And if you end up playing and you're in the final 3, obviously we'll explain that on site. And then my favorite event is doubles, and that's that night, Thursday night at 7 p.m. We'll play 3 rounds of doubles. I do expect to get a minimum of 24 people for that, or 24 teams. We very well may get 32. We'll see. But that's always my favorite event. In fact, I'm going to Atlanta this weekend just to play doubles on Friday, and then I'm coming back home.
You have a partner?
I do, Dan Minardi.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I always enjoy playing, and I have a backup plan as well. If we lose, I'll go see Dune in theater. But anyway,
Okay.
um, the next day is the national championship. We start at 10. We'll do reentries until we fill it. Filling it probably is 128 entries, but it might be 64. It just depends on the number of people who show up at 10 and how many spots we have to fill in the playoff. But then at 3, we do our second start time for jackpots. So this is where we will fill those jackpots to 32 or 24, depending on how things are moving. And then 7 p.m. we'll have the doubles final matches. That's plural. I do expect there to be 2 matches at 7, the semifinals and the finals. And then the national championship playoff is that night, and then the night owl jackpot, and that's where those really cool owl trophies will be awarded is that night owl jackpot at 8:30. One thing I wanted to actually backtrack on, we do have one thing that I haven't had on the website yet. We do have streaming with commentary this entire weekend. We're bringing on Nick Blazier again. Andy Lindeberg is going to do uh, the actual like technical streaming side. Nick will do the commentary, and then Jason Dordal and Bry Dordal will be helping us recording video, creating teasers and intros and summaries and whatnot with Nick. So there'll be great content created all the way Wednesday, all the way till Sunday.
That's great. I should mention I just got a message from Jason Dordal. His wife just had a baby. It's their second son. So congratulations to them. I've had him on my channel before, and he's fantastic. I've had Nick Blazier. I've had a lot of these people. So that's great. Congratulations to them. And then Saturday and Sunday is the main event, the ABT, and it goes through Sunday evening, right?
Yeah, so we do have 12 rounds scheduled. Um, I don't really expect 11 or 12 to be necessary very often, but with these Swiss style events, sometimes the right or wrong people win or lose, and it creates a longer tournament. So I recommend to everybody plan on staying Sunday night if you're not local. If you are going to book a late flight, definitely make it as late as possible. Fortunately, since we're on the East Coast, if you're going west, you can often get a later flight. But the room rate is amazing. It's like 114 a night, and so really, there's no reason to
We'll
rush
see that
out.
here.
Yeah,
Hotel,
there's no
yeah.
reason to rush out. You might as well stay Sunday night. It's a really great hotel. And I booked plenty of rooms, including plenty of double rooms. So
Yeah.
hopefully no one will have any trouble. In fact, I'm a little nervous that I booked too many. So book your room early and book it for many days. That's something, by the way, I don't know if everybody understands that. As an organizer, I have already committed that we're going to buy a certain number of rooms, and if not, I have to write a check for the balance. And
Right.
so, yeah, it's always good to stay in the local hotel. Don't save $5 a night because you actually are going to be hurting me by a lot more than that.
Right,
So,
right.
if you find a room for $30 a night, okay, I get it, but the 114 is I think a better rate than you can find anywhere around there. In fact, when they first quoted me the rate, it was more like 140 a night, and fortunately, um, with some negotiation and some give and take, we got the room rate down so that players could this could be a really affordable, nice hotel. So
Yeah. So that's great. So this is the list of events. There's all these divisions. So there's an entry fee, and I like how you have the side pools, and it discusses clocks and everything like that, and
yep,
different
yep,
division. The added money, we went through all these, and the DC Metro Open, BMAB, jackpots, Martha Washington. Oh, that's the Masters jackpot, and then the Open. Okay, so they have names for those.
yep.
And those are the beautiful FTH boards and the Gammon Stuff boards. They're really nice. The women in backgammon, learning opportunities we discussed. And then registration they could do right here. They just go on here. This form will pop up in just a moment.
Yeah, and definitely I want to encourage everybody to read the instructions on the form. It's pretty self-explanatory, but um, we've had some kind of questions, and if you have any trouble, definitely just give me a call and I can help. Let me make sure it's going to load on my side because it looks like it's taking a while for yours.
It
Yeah,
did
it
take
did
a
load.
while earlier on my end, but this is easy. You just click on this, and then I love the beautiful flowers. They're really nice. So let's see. Let me just go back to the home. I think that was pretty much everything for the website. So that's good. I'll go ahead and stop this. Anyway, um, good, good. So that sounds like an outstanding event. A lot of stuff to look forward to.
Yeah, that's one thing that this event definitely has. It's just a ton of backgammon. So if you want to get the best bang for your buck, this is a good opportunity.
Good, good. So, uh, I feel like we got a really good overview of everything going on at the tournament. Are there any final comments that you wanted to make before we conclude?
No, I think that's it. I look forward to seeing everyone. And if you don't make it, definitely watch the streaming and check it out. Nick does an amazing job with commentary, and we're going to have a lot of fun. I guess one thing that comes to mind that I'll mention is you can register on Saturday morning this year. Last year we cut it off the night before. So if for some reason you need to show up right at the last minute, give me a call. Feel free. We'll get you in there. We do start play or we do close registration at 9 a.m. and start play at 10. So, yeah, that's probably it.
Very good. Thank you very much. Let me put this back on. Thank you very much to my good friend Ben Friesen, director and organizer of the 2024 Cherry Blossom Backgammon Championship. It's going to be again April 17th through 24th at the Hyatt Regency at Dulles Airport in Herndon, Virginia, which is, I guess, a suburb of Washington, D.C., right?
It is exactly.
Okay, very good. So there's obviously a lot to do there. You can go explore the capital, not too far, and a lot of backgammon. So I encourage everyone to go there. I won't be able to make it myself, but I'll be watching the streaming. That's one of the first things I do when I wake up in the morning. I wake up early, and I know it's like 3 hours in advance ahead of me. So I just start watching it while my kids are still asleep, and I enjoy that so much. So thank you very much for your time and for all of your efforts, and congratulations on all of your success in backgammon and tournaments at the USBGF. Wish you continued success, and I look forward to seeing you hopefully soon in person. I've met you before in person, and I see you virtually often through the USBGF. So thank you again, and thank you to the viewers for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. Please let me know what you think in the comments below and what you'd like to see in future videos so I can work on that. Again, my book, Backgammon Backgame Strategies, is available. There's a link in the description to where you can get it. And if you're interested in lessons, please contact me via email. My email address is in the description. I look forward to seeing everyone in future videos, and until then, keep rolling your dice.